Hey y'all, it's your favorite sweet girl Sammy, and I am back doing exactly what I said I was gonna do. Speak word and love and light to you guys. It has been some time. It has been some time, but I had to gather myself and literally just put myself out there because I would continue to psych myself out if I did not tell people that I was gonna do this. So I'm here, y'all, and definitely doing this because it is my year of yes. I am saying yes to everything that I'm asked to do, everything that God tells me to do. Like, I am saying yes instead of saying, like, all right, and then just never do it. So, this is a part of me being a good vessel opposed to just being a good person. I've never been a bad person, but to say that I have lived to the intent that God has put me on this earth, probably, but I could do better. So this is just me being a good vessel and continue to spread love and life through my own testimony, not from anything I've learned, for things that I've read, yeah, but this is just my personal walk with God. And seeing all the beautiful things he's done for me. Honestly, like no front, no cap, none of that. Just me doing everything that I've heard. Faith comes by hearing. Um, Not necessarily by what you see, it comes by what you hear. So I have literally heard God speak to me, speak through me so loudly. So that's why I'm trying to be obedient and come to y'all. What has happened in 2 years? In 2 years, just like y'all seen, I was one of the part of the people with no job, unemployment. Did one of these videos out of obedience. And 3 days later got a job, right? Crazy. From there, I was with that contract company and kind of still am with that contract company for a year before the place that I was contracted to hired me. And trust me, I did not ask for any of this. I didn't even ask to be hired. To be honest, I didn't even want to work there. And it wasn't like it was a bad place, but it's just when you see things from contractor perspective, you feel like that's what's gonna go on in the actual building, but it's not. People just treat people differently, and it is what it is. But God was telling me to make this shift, and I fought it. I fought it behind a coin. Um, I have been living my life on overtime for so long that I didn't know how to just chill and work with the time literally that God wanted me to work with. To be completely honest, this year I had made more just chilling than I did ripping and running and hustling like I was. Now I'm still out here hustling, like, but when I want to, and when I say hustling, I mean being creative. But opposed to that, like I went from working 30, no, not 35, 65 hours a week to now working my 40, and I have not lacked, okay? And that's all God, and that's with me paying my tithes. I have not lacked, right? And that's crazy because you would think like you feel like you're losing more money because you're not working as much when you literally making the same amount of money and you're able to actually spend it and enjoy it with the time that you're given. And it's been great for me. I recently just got off of a fast and it was 36 days. Why 36 days? Because I I speak on tithing a lot because in this last 4 years of like consistent walking with God, that has worked with me. So I also practically do things that is not money related that I can give back to God. And 36 days was literally 10% of my year because I just turned 30. 10% of my years to saying, God, this is for you. I've given you everything. I've given him my career path because, like I said, I did not want that job. I've given God my relationship because it was rough, and we're still growing. I've given God my vice, which was my 36 days of fast. So it's like I've literally given you everything for you to be confident enough and to trust me with everything you want for me. And it has happened, and it has happened exponentially. Um, One of the pastors I listen to calls it bamboo season. And if we know anything about a bamboo, it takes 3 years, 3 to 4 years going down and getting rooted before it goes up and starts to sprout. And so that's what happened to me. It was like I went through a season of being planted, because I'm planted, not buried. Okay. Being planted and feeling like I wasn't bearing fruit. I felt like I was growing to a degree. I knew God was doing something, but I didn't see it per se. That's because I was going through bamboo season. Like, I had my roots had to like really grow deep and take hold of the ground before it started to sprout. Because when it sprouts exponentially. So you got to be ready for it. So I'm not gonna say when I didn't think God was seeing me, but when God was literally developing me in the dark, it almost felt like there would be no light. But when you break through, you start growing so fast. And I had been growing. I had really been growing. And then my 30th birthday, thank you, Pastor Keon. Pastor Keon of Lighthouse Church, he stopped and made it a point to pray over me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to, but y'all would have seen how happy I was. Y'all would have thought he gave me some money. No, but he gave me a prayer, which was like so much more. And literally from that day to 30 days after that, so much growth had happened in between that time. I had mended bridges. I had purified my vision. And I learned that from subsequently Will Smith. He will never be canceled. I learned that from Will Smith. He spoke about purifying the vision. And this was actually crazy how that happened. I got that word from him 2 days before he did what he did. So, whatever. Um, Purifying your vision, to know when you walk into a space and say you have an issue with somebody, um, and you don't necessarily like have a day-to-day issue with them, but internally there is um there's a vibe that will always happen until you actually either confront or you come with your best, purest self into a space. Because if you come with that beef and animosity into a space, you are tainting the space just as much as that other person who's probably causing more of havoc. But when you clear that and you present yourself as your purest and truest self, it makes your life much easier. It makes your life so much easier. And I tried that practically with someone I didn't necessarily have an issue with, but there was a vibe. And once I confronted it and brought my purest self into the space, it cleared it up so well that it made it more breathable. It made everything more much easier. So, that was one less thing I had to worry about. And it worked. Like, it worked. And it was crazy because that whole time that I was about to clear the space, God had walked with me, like telling me it's okay to do this. You can do it like this. I'm with you. I had people pop out of nowhere and embrace me right before I cleared my space, just to know like God is literally with me. Um, and throughout this time, things I've started to do more. I watch a word daily. Um, I read word daily. I journal daily. And that's just me trying to stay in constant fellowship with God. Just like I said, giving God 36 days of my year, um, so he can cleanse me, purify me, so he continue to work and trust through me. I do the same thing throughout the day. I try to, in different ways, maybe not in just one setting, but I try in different ways to give God at least 2.5 hours of my day, because that's also 10% of me giving back to him, just to say, hey, I have made room in my life for you constantly. Um, and that's the thing. People think you just got to be sitting with them all day, and you can gain so much from it. But sometimes too much of everything is bad. You know what I'm saying? So because if you don't take a step back from it, you can misinterpret what you're supposed to, know. So that's why you got to learn it, take a step back from it, digest it, apply it to see if that works for you. Everything might not work for you. And that's what we're here for. Because I want to dive into how other people see God. Um, God comes in miracle signs and wonders. God speaks through the trees and the wind. God speaks through the moon and the stars. God speaks everywhere. I tell people all the time, like, if God wanted us to all speak the same language, he wouldn't have let the Tower of Babel happen. And the Tower of Babel is like, in layman's terms, where the people thought they could build a tower to heaven, to get to God. And in that time, he had changed all their languages, confused them, and sent them on in different ways. If he wanted us to all speak the same language, he would have let them people do whatever they wanted to do. But he didn't. And so my thing is trying to take God out of the box and actually understand how other people see God, to be able to speak their language. So if need be, if I needed to tell them the gospel, they would be receptive of me because I took the time to respect them and I met them where they were at. And that's it. That's all I want to do. I want people to be healed. I want people to know that healing does come from God. Um, and just grow. And one thing I do want to tap into is vulnerability. That is something I'm personally working on. A lot of y'all misconceptions of me. I'm very mean. I'm not. I am very direct, to a degree, but y'all don't understand. I sugarcoat more stuff than y'all think. But people look at my face and they think, oh, she's so mean. Y'all can think whatever y'all want. Y'all just missing out on the gift that is me, that God is trying to present to y'all, so y'all don't want to talk to me. That's okay. That is okay. But that is definitely a misconception of me. And because of that, it's just because I learned I'm not the most vulnerable person. I'm not the most transparent. I've just become that. And that's something that both men and women need to work on, vulnerability. Women, we need to learn to show where it hurts, like to say, I don't like this. This bothers me here. Same with men. They need to work on showing how they actually feel, and not necessarily letting their feelings be the driver of the things they do, because that's when you can run off a cliff with it. Okay, so yeah, I don't want to do too much today because I didn't know what I was doing, but I said I was gonna come out, and so this is the start of me coming out, just to let y'all know about me and what I want to do and how I am, and showing a real godly person, not just somebody playing church, because you don't have to be in the church to be the church. And I tell people all the time, y'all might not walk in the church, but y'all gonna encounter me, and hopefully I am a great representation of God's people, and know that I'm very genuine. I'm very loving, and I really want the best for everybody, because if everybody puts their best foot forward, and be the best they can be, the world will be a much better place. learn how to stay in their lane, how to focus, and literally mind their own business. So once we come to that consensus, I think life would be just so much better. So this is me doing what I said I was gonna do, being impeccable with my word and showing up. Showing up and being present. And being present is a word that hopefully y'all take to heart. I'm gonna end it off with this. Being present is major because you will miss out on your gift of today. Ego drives us, and I learned that ego lives in the past and the future. So it keeps you from being present and staying in this day, in this moment, in this time. It's okay to plan, it's okay to reflect, but you cannot stay there, okay? Because you have to be here. Today is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made, okay? Today. So we're gonna work on being present, and we're gonna work on being available, and receive everything God that has for us, right? So this was not planned. This was not rehearsed. I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to give it to y'all real, raw, and uncut, so y'all can know this is real. Like, this is me. It's gonna get better though. But that's it. That's all I got. Thank y'all. Love y'all.